Welcome back, people. This is Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Prez, and to my left.
It's your boy Cash, aka Exec P.
All right, and we're back once again, people, for the Only the Classic series. If you've been checking us out, Only the Classic series, where we go back and review old albums that we deem are classics and need to be brought back up and rediscussed on a bigger form. And so to start off 2021, what do we come with? Uh, we had we had a couple of albums we was tossing up, but we ended up sticking with the one that the name is strong. It means 10 things in one.
Yeah, man. It's Mr. 1900 Hustler. First thing first, watch what you say out your mouth when you talking on the phone to hustlers.
Basically, early. We got
That's it.
Freeway.
Philadelphia Freeway, man. Damn, it's almost 18 years to the date when it dropped out, man. We got about a month and this thing turns 18. You getting old, bro.
You was right there with me.
You getting old, bro.
You was right there with me. All right. For y'all who don't know, if you haven't listened at this, a Freeway, like you caught Freeway later on and you didn't catch this album to start off with, you're wrong. You should have go back, listen at that Philadelphia Freeway. Certified classic. We wouldn't be here talking about it if it wasn't. And we're gonna sit here and break it down and tell you exactly why it was a classic in our eyes and what elevated it and put it up in that stratosphere above other albums for us. So
hey, man, I want to get right to it, man. Let's
Get
not
right
waste
to
the
it.
people time. Let's
Okay.
start out first, man, with the first song off the album. And like we always say, it's all about the intro, baby. It's
The
all about the
intro, man.
intro, Prez. I know you got a little bit for us, man. Let the people know how you feel about Free.
Man, so when I first came on this song, man, like it just grabs you immediately. Like you're saying, that intro, man, that's what these classic albums, that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna like grab your attention and just carry you through this. So Freeway with the higher little tone, like you had heard him in a couple other songs, you probably doubted yourself like when it first came out. Like, is he gonna be able to carry a full album? I'm gonna be able to stand the high pitch that he usually have and stuff like this, and like his unorthodox a little bit flow and everything. So, but yeah, man, like Just Blaze on the production, on majority of the production throughout this album, man, they just married up perfectly together. And like I think you were saying at one time, like Just Blaze, like this is why they hold such a special place with you, because the magic they created during all these rock years, man, it was just
Yeah, I mean, it's of course it's that in-house production with Just Bink, Kanye, and then like a few of the producers from Philly. I don't want to forget one of them. Sorry. It's we'll get to it when we get to the
yeah.
songs. I
We'll
know
get
what
to
I'm
them as
talking
we
to,
get to the song.
but yeah, Free with Just Blaze on a production, like they marry up perfectly because when you're talking about excellent production and a unique voice in the game, like I remember a lot of people not really messing with Free just off the strength of the voice, and I couldn't for the life of me understand why, because he was spitting bars and he had a unique sound. Isn't that what you would want in a new artist?
Yeah, I mean, like you saying, I could get the voice and everything, but the minute you put a beat on,
Come on. Come on. If y'all didn't get that, that's a Cassidy reference. That's the insider. You know, those that know, man. Those that know. But you got anything else on Free, man? The opening track?
We already hit the main little part, and the name means 10 things, and one was quoted on that, man. He just came with it, man. It just grabs you from the get go, man. And then so your word, like, will it go over to the next one, right? Second song in, what will we do?
A Negro spiritual. It's a Negro spiritual. I don't care the most prettiest or prissiest of girls down to the most hardest and softest, like all spectrums. When when that come on, and then when Free get and when he get to spitting them bars on there, like everybody knows, snatch the dishes out your kitchen, like all the line.
Yeah.
Everybody has a memorable verse. I don't know a lot of people that don't know majority of this song verbatim, and they may not even be the biggest fans of hip hop. That's how much of an impact this song has on hip hop, in my opinion.
So this song was featuring Jay-Z and Beanie Siegel, and you was like, man, these two titans in the game at that present time, and even though this is the person that Beans building bringing up, you was like, is he gonna hold his own against on the same track with these two. And yes, he did. Definitely held his own on that.
The hunger in
Yeah.
that verse. Like I I felt like whatever shoes he was in when he was saying some of them lines, as far as you can just feel it, man.
Yeah.
Like you can just feel it. And that's one of those things to where now you on song number 2 in a classic album, you like, oh shit. This dude is a problem. And everything I heard before that, the mixtapes from the Hot 97 freestyles to the 1900 Hustler, like everything that you anticipated for this album, oh, we about to get it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
in for a good time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And what was that line on there? I think it was Beanie Siegel on there, the third verse on there, where he's like, the one line that sticks out to me is just like, real gangsters make hood holidays. It's just like, hey, if you in the hood, like just give back. Like you got to make that special. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Show the over the people.
I wouldn't even do a service trying to play it back. I would get too caught up in the moment. And y'all should already know the song by now. But the next joint up, man, is All My Life. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my, yo, man, that shit wrote, like when I was listening to it the last 2-3 days as we were preparing for this, I was like, damn, man, I
Yeah.
miss Nate Dogg because again, Free, very new artist, first album, debut album. How does he get Nate Dogg? You know what I mean? Who's the crooner for all of the joints at the time, and then how do they marry up so well? And then Just Blaze again, man. Like, no, sorry, this is Bink.
Yeah.
This is Bink at this point. You know what I'm saying? So Bink was killing it with the hook and how he was just
Yeah.
setting it up with
That-
the doo, doo,
that
doo,
little
doo,
in the
doo. That
background.
little in the background sound. Yeah.
That little harmonizing.
That
they had
little
right there.
extra piece took it to another level for me, as far as, okay, this is track 3. You come off of Free, which is a strong opener.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have What We Do, which is like you out here, and then you get to All My Life, which is just now you settling in and it's
And
riding.
I kind of expect. I was like, man, this one's gonna be a hot track too, because like the way it came on the intro, he said we got them things when we land early.
Speaking of that, yo, does he not? Like, you know, it's a lot of people that do it. Jay does it well. When they set the stage for the song,
Yes.
it could be the wackest song. But like, I feel like that intro, oh man, I'm about to hit something amazing. Like, it's just they got those starters, man. That you know, when you hear that, you know that's Jay.
Yeah.
When you hear when Ross say some the most simplest shit, but it sounded profound. You know what I mean? And then Free was doing that early, and then like the little tidbits, man. But I hate to go off on a tangent, but just little shit like that makes the feel sound a little bit better. It's more cinematic. Like, that's what I felt when it first came
That's
on.
perfect. That's exactly what it would say, like cinematic, man. Yeah, he just give you that feel like something magical about to happen. Like this about to be an experience, not magical. Something amazing on the
He
track.
said
Magical.
magical.
What the fuck was I doing?
It's so good. He caught up. It is dope, man.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
So, man, All My Life, man. Next joint up, man. This is probably heard in every dance movie there is known to man from the early 2000s, and that is Flipside featuring Petey Crack.
Whew.
And to get it, who get it? It says she blow la la. And she my baby mama.
If y'all listen to our beans breakdown, y'all already know how we feel about.
Oh, we love
Petey.
Petey. We love Petey.
He
Go
just-
back and listen to the Beans. What album was that we covered on a classic?
It was
The Becoming.
The Becoming.
Yeah, the Becoming. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yo, go back and listen to that if you want to know our affection for Petey. But what was you saying?
He just brings the energy, man. Like the minute you hear PD, like you like, oh, energy about to go up. This it. And this song right here, man, I remember this like when I was playing it like heavy. It was like just getting that spring break era, and like just getting in that summertime. So that's what this song always brings me back to. Like, you know what I mean? Just got that little that summer, the summer about
Right.
to start feel. You know?
Yeah, cops want to shut me down. Haters want to hit me up. Like, yo, man, they was riding that shit, and this is like a party song that I don't expect
Nah.
from him, like, at all. I wasn't thinking that he would do something like this. And then they came on smashing it, and they got a bunch of one-liners on here that
I ain't Hove, I just know what I
no.
know.
I'm talking old spots. Man, we could go on days and days for this, but this is not only a popular record, a dance record. This is just some shit that just is fly, man. It's
Yeah.
ill. It's ill, man. And Petey Crack, again steals the show, man.
energy he brings to every
And
track that he's
yeah,
on,
yeah,
man.
for
It's just
sure.
like, man, I don't know. The only correlation I could bring up is just like, when Mystical gets on the song, just like, man, it could be just a blanding song. When he come, yeah, he kicking in the door, here I go. Like that type of
Doom,
energy, like
doom,
it's about
doom.
to step up. It's about to get like kick. That's how I
Yep,
feel
yep,
like every
yep.
time Petey Crack stepped on one of these songs. No matter how it was gonna go with them, nah. We elevating this a little bit. So yeah, that's how I feel about Petey on the rocks, man.
All right,
Uh
all right. We take him to track number 5. We in St. Louis with the
oh
feature. We
yeah.
got my man Nelly Mo. Got Mo
Nelly.
on there, man. How you feel about On My Own?
It was okay song, catchy hook. The am I on my own? Like yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah. This
yeah,
is the one where I was kind of like, I
but
don't
it
know.
rides.
But
It
it
rides.
rides in terms of again, the production and Free on there. Free really shine for me. Nelly melded it in with a version. I don't know if they were in the
His
same room at the
his
time,
hook was good on
but the
that.
hook was cool. And I'm not mad at the hook at all. I'm not
No,
mad
no,
at the song. It's just not one of my favorite songs on the album, but it's definitely not a skip to
yeah,
me.
no,
Not by no means. We wouldn't be covering
yeah.
if it had a
No,
skip.
it wasn't like man, like I said, this when you're talking about classic albums and then you have your dips, it's like a dip on a classic album is
It
not.
occurs. It's not doesn't mean it's not classic.
But I'm saying it's not even a bad track compared to anything else. Like that's the way I look at it. But if we talking about the elite songs on here, it's not that elite for me on this album.
Yeah.
So next we got what we get around featuring Snoop Dogg.
Featuring Snoop. Again, like, come on. Like Nelly is at the height. Then you come right back with Snoop. And then before that, you had Nate. Like, he killing. And the features are, it's one thing to have a lot of features and for us to complain, because we've done that over the years as we listen to music, right? As
Jay
a people.
Electronica, y'all really
As a people. But here's the thing though. When you own it and it feels like your album, that's where people don't say anything,
Yeah.
because even though Snoop was on there, you remember Free
And-
presence.
because Free his first lines, his first verse when he come in, the part that got me was like, no, I'm not related to R. I don't play with kids. I check IDs. I think it was, yeah.
I check ID. Yeah, man. So he was definitely
Throwing that R. Kelly
throwing
shot.
that shot at R. Kelly, which was hilarious at the time. But like again, his flow is so unorthodox. Sometimes you don't even see those those bars coming or those punchlines coming. So
Yeah.
that's what made it great at the time. And again, 2003 with a different type of flow, being unique when a lot of things started to sound the same. This was really refreshing to hear. And of course, the OG Snoop came through and did what he does, man.
Yeah.
Track number 7,
Uh,
Don't Cross the Line, featuring Faith Evans.
oh man.
Boy,
So-
oh boy.
Yeah, man. It's once again just like the feature. He found these perfect features like throughout this album of the people that just fits with his voice and he can go. And the standout part for this album to me is just like because it didn't even like seem like they should have done it or it didn't go up in there, was just like in that second verse. It's like a part of there where Free just talking about like I forget the exact line, but he's talking about how they only like him because I rap or whatever. But
Mhm.
then Faith is like harmonizing with him on that just that bar with him, that whole line with him, and it just hold up, she gonna do that again in later and something? No, it was just like to emphasize that bar. I really like that. It grabbed my attention on that.
Attention
you
to
know what I mean?
detail.
Yeah.
Attention to detail. It was the little things, and of course, they really wanted Free to blow because of his uniqueness. So of course, you got Just, you got Bink in the in-house production, then you got Guru, and you can't undersell what Guru does and what Guru meant to Rockefeller at the time, because really the producers doing all that stuff, but who's putting that extra magic on it is always the engineer. And I
Yeah.
think that you got to credit a lot of these things and these little extra special moments on the album to Guru as well. So I just want to mention that on that. But yeah, Don't Cross That Line is fire. And but then we get the feature that I kind of was waiting for, and something that they've done well prior to, with mixtape cuts and stuff like that, was track number 8, Life, featuring Beanie Siegel.
Mm.
Man, these
Mm.
dudes, man, like
Mm.
they draw you in so much to whatever they writing about. It makes it seem like this wasn't from somebody else's story. This is my story. And I can't relate because of course I wasn't never into any of the things that they're talking about, but I can relate from an aspect of they painted the picture so vivid. It's hard to ignore the potency of the lines in there.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of one of the lines, man, I gotta speak on. So
Yeah.
first off, the beat. Let me get on this first. It's like a gutter blues type beat. Uh, it- didn't you when you first hear it, it's like
It's
it's
like
gonna
rock
work.
influence,
Yeah,
on
but
there.
it's like it got like a little blues little sound to it too. But it works with their flow and everything on it, man. So but the bar I want to get to is like he said, in my lifetime, I learned to live with regrets, deal with the devils, I deal with the evils. But
Yeah,
the
taking
evils,
that back to
devils,
reasonable doubt.
yeah,
You know, with those references for sure. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's an ill bar. That's an ill bar for sure, man. They're going back and forth on this as well. You know, kind of doing that Jada Kiss and Styles P type
On the
thing
third
on the
verse, yeah.
third verse. So if you interested in and you really like when Free and Beans hook up, this is definitely one of their best collaborations out of their entire, you know, duo meetups on tracks and stuff like that. So check out Life. Track number 9, Full Effect, featuring the Young Guns.
Young Chris, right?
No, Young Guns.
It was
Neef
both
Buck.
of them. Yeah,
Neef,
yeah, he
yeah,
was.
yeah,
His
yeah.
second verse. It was second
Young
verse.
Neef
Yeah, yeah.
Buck don't speak much, but keep the heat tucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, I, Neef Buck's so underrated. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I just want to say he's underrated. But every time he showed up on some of these albums, he's spitting that shit on there. But I just got to go to my standout verse. Of course, you had Free holding it down. Don't
Yeah.
get me
They
wrong.
got me staring at the world through
In
my
my
rear
rear
view.
view.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came off on that, and then the beat again, Just Blaze. Can't echo and applaud you enough on this, man. But this is probably one of my favorite Just Blaze songs. Like if I was to make a playlist, Full Effect has to
Be on there.
be on there. And it's all off of because when I get to the third verse, I want to hear Young Chris. I never made it to them 5-on-5s. They was playing live. I was trying to stay alive.
Man.
Goodness gracious. And he's like at the point, you know, if you heavily into Rockefeller at the time, you know, and remember when they was at the Hot 97 thing and Jay kept saying he's only 17 or 16.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
of course, at this point, he's a little bit older, but still, he's still that young,
Yeah.
rapping like he has the experience of a 30-year-old on the track. So, but
And slowly but surely did Jay-Z rhyming scheme change. We ain't gonna go down there. We gonna go down there.
let's not go off on the tangent, man.
Let's not go down.
That's an ugly rumor. That's an ugly rumor, man.
Truths out there. Bro.
Ugly rumor, man.
Truths. The boy
Aight,
was
man.
he was killing it.
I'm gonna let you take it over for track number 10, man. Turn out the lights. You said a few things
Yeah,
pre-production.
yeah. Turn off the lights, man. So
Featuring Kanye West is on the
Kanye
production.
West, right?
Yep.
It's not my favorite track on the album. I just go ahead and admit, like it's not my favorite track on the album. But this is an album that I don't skip anything. It fits where it needs to go, and like I think it sets up everything because like at a point, Just Blaze didn't do all the production on this, right? But it seems like every time Just Blaze beat came back in, it took the album to the next level. Like it elevated it a little bit more. And so you needed the time away to get back to the, oh, okay, we'll give him this. And then now we're gonna keep him like even more engaged. It's like those little
You needed that. It's like your day to day. You needed a different emotion
Yeah.
to get back to this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel what you're saying
it's
about
like
that.
an action movie, man. You gotta have some talking.
You gotta have a slight lull or a different veer
Yeah.
right, and then come back to what the premise is about the story. But yeah, again, Turn Out the Lights was one of those ones that was I'm like, okay, I'm listening to it because the beat is hard. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but it's just not one of my favorite Kanye West beats. But nevertheless, some people may feel a little bit different, man.
And then, boy, was we in for a treat. I tell you, you got that little that those little pockets that go up in there, and then you come back in. It's like Victim of the Ghetto featuring
Yeah.
Rail.
Featuring Rail. Every time I see Rail on the track or I listen to just old Rockefeller, man, I start going to like early 90s, like type 90s type stuff with Rail on there. I just think his voice is like at the time super unique, and he always nailed it on these hooks, man. But yeah, Victim of the Ghetto is when Free got in his bag, man, spitting a lot of truth about a lot
Yeah.
of things that goes on in the ghetto.
He
And
was telling a story, man.
yeah,
Like he was just telling the truth. Like,
storyteller bag. Yeah, he got in
yeah,
his storyteller bag in
yeah.
this one, man, for sure.
And I eat, sleep, buy, sell drugs in the
Just
ghetto.
another victim of the ghetto. So that's again that cadence, the ability to make a hook, the ability to make a song. I think that's what shined through the most on here because
Yeah.
it, a lot of the Rockefeller albums, man, like with cats with their debut, it's not. People like the truth, but Beanie was raw as hell, and he would
Yeah.
honestly tell you that he was raw as hell. Bleak on his first album, Coming of Age, super raw, had a lot of highlights, but just super raw. But this one was polished as like just
Yeah,
where
like
he
they was
was.
ready to hit a home. They was like, nah, this is gonna be a home run. The world ain't ready for this. Like we're gonna give them this. It's gonna be a gem, and that's exactly what it was in
Just
this
song
instance.
making, like in Victim of the Ghetto was just an example of
Yeah,
just his ability to make a hook into bridges and all those different things that you mentioned in the one with the prior song we was talking about.
yeah.
But so we talked about this in pre-production. Next song up is You Don't Know featuring Sparks from Emilio and Sparks. Yo, bro, why does Sparks always show up? Like again, I'm gonna keep saying it. This is another guy. I gotta find a mixtape or something. You cats from Philly, if you're watching, let me know what I can go to that has Sparks in abundance. Because all I can find is state property stuff and features on Rockefeller stuff. But
And I
every
pointed out
time,
some clear references like with Eskino, and then certain people saying like they don't like dudes of the day, but it's like a lot of the Eskino like they had a mixture of it like at Rockefeller
yeah,
of all these styles that you when you hear it now, and then you can see how like people came or they came from that. That's what they learned, and a lot of
yeah,
their
a
rhyming
lot of a lot
schemes
of
and
dudes
styles.
like you see like lot of young dudes like G Herbo, like you was talking about earlier, that like that has taken and rapped over a lot of these Rockefeller era beats, and we gonna start seeing that again as old dudes, and we can't get upset that these young dudes feel the same way we feel about the music. You know what I mean? We can't be the old dudes that hate on it, even if they don't do it exactly the way the
Yeah,
original artist did it on here. But I mean, Sparks, man, it's offbeat flow, man.
yeah.
The offbeat flow is
So if you're liking
phenomenal.
it and you talk about G Herbo and I don't like him because of this, what yeah. You gotta fix yourself.
And
You gotta
again,
fix yourself.
like you said, I don't want to miss the point in case you don't say it. But Sparks was like it's like having a conversation. Like
Yeah.
every time he rap, it's a conversation over beat. It's not really. It don't sound like a polished rapper. No disrespect, but I think you know what I'm trying to say.
But
You know,
it's engaging. Like
yeah,
you be locked into what he's saying, and it's like you make it through it, and like you like, oh man, that was hot. Like
yeah,
this, I have a toss up, man. Like this one, and it may be my favorite song on the album. I don't know.
yeah. It might be
I'm kind of iffy on it, man. But like, yeah, it's like this one.
outside of what the bigger songs,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like the album cuts, like
yeah,
your favorite
yeah,
of
yeah. Like a B side one,
the
like
B
B side.
sides
Yeah,
for sure, for sure.
favorite out of the B sides. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
But
right, man.
then next we got All Right.
Like, where's Alan Anthony? Like, where's Alan Anthony? This is featuring Alan Anthony.
Who?
Exactly. Like, what? He came in and did one of a fire ass hook. Like he was like a really good feature on here, and the beat again, man, like just didn't miss at all on here. And
No.
we at track number 13, and he's probably done what 10 of them at this point on the album. So it's like, man, and it's one of the traditional feel good, uplifting songs at the end of an album, as the formulaic type of album people would do there. They would put I Love You Mama type song or the refreshing song at the end of the album.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah, I can picture like that's exactly how they go.
Yeah,
too.
we done heard too much hard shit. You know what I mean? Let's uplift some spirits. And Freeway still rapping, street, but it's a little bit more uplifting. And again, the cadence and the flow is there still.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And the energy, most importantly for me, at track 13, it was much needed.
Yeah.
After hearing You Don't Know with Sparks.
And then next up, number 14, we got Hit a Song, and this produced by Kanye West. This is his like, oh, he redeemed himself
Yeah.
from the last one. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this one, this Kanye West song, bangs. This one's it right here. and
Say hello to Mr. Ain't Gonna Be Shit.
ooh,
Get a job. Get your kids set up for Easter, knowing you just came home. Yo, he was talking.
he was talking. He
Whoever
was.
fuck with his heart in that song,
It was
the
like three different parts.
old
of
girl,
that.
like it was three different people he was
Yeah.
rapping about, and then I
think
think
that-
that the part I was just reminiscing about is it had to be somebody he was messing with
Yeah.
prior to getting locked up. So, man, like it was a lot of real shit in there. But
Then he ended it with talking to his teacher, talking about like not helping him out at school, and that probably steered him down the wrong path to start off with because you didn't have faith in him. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of ruined the child at that point. That's kind of how he was rhyming
and
up
it's,
in there.
it's
And then but he had a bar up in there, man. I got graded most hated with guns.
what? Like, why you think? How would you even think that? Like, that's how Free ill, man. Free is ill, man. And the funniest shit about it is these songs, like hear your songs when people always talk about the teacher and what the teacher said. And it's funny nowadays because we like, come on, everybody's teacher said that about all you mugs. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of them, bro.
So yeah, it's just funny
It's a
to
lot
hear
of
that,
'em.
man. But
It's a
a
lot
lot
of
of people do it, but it's still a dope song. And Kanye, like you said, redeemed himself because he needed to after the first offering on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And then 15, man, like I don't even was really got to talk about this one. This is like his song that
The
like
gift.
reigns. Yeah.
This is the gift.
We're gonna throw Mariah and Jay-Z. Here you go.
Magic.
Just throw some words on there and it's gonna do good. But he went above and beyond. Like he hit a fire, like the intro to that, like man, his whole like verse, man. I know it's more than 16 too. Like that dude spit
Song.
stuff on there.
Song making ability on
Mhm.
here. Again, it's several hooks in here, even the gutter shit on here. And then you have the You Got Me, and what's the other one? That's kind of a radio hit that's a little bit soft on here. I'm drawing a blank. But
Mhm.
again, Mariah did her thing. Him and Mariah kind of going back and forth at one point.
Yeah.
With him actually trying to make it a song and that's just not mailing it in. I'm just gonna do my 16. Jay does his 16. Mariah, you on the hook. And no, I wanted that. It was little subtleties here
Yeah.
and then. So definitely one of those softer tracks back in the day that I didn't necessarily care for at the age, but nowadays and how I appreciate an album when you do songs like this, even to this day, artists, when you do songs like this, you better do it right. Because if you this type of artist, it is so many ways it can go bad and seem wrong, and then we about it's the lady song.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
But no, this is like that song is classic in my eyes,
Yeah.
man. Like I love this song, man. No,
yeah.
it's,
him he did well with this type of stuff, and I know we ain't talking about him, but I know we're gonna get to this album at some point this year. Joel Santana,
oh yeah.
you know, they do well on these type of beats where they allowed to have some room to breathe and play with their flow a little bit. So
Yeah.
definitely a dope album. So we had track number 16.
The last
This is
song
the last
on the
one.
album, Line 'Em Up, featuring Young Chris.
Yeah, so this is one of the mixtape cuts that found its way onto the album. And I know I heard this on Clue
Yeah.
like maybe almost a year or two before it came out, but it was one of them hard songs, and you could tell that Chris had gotten way better by the time this song actually was put out, but they still used the same vocals and everything
they
like
took it
that.
back,
So you
yeah.
could tell the difference between hearing Young Chris on this one and then the Young Guns feature earlier on the album. But nevertheless, that still don't mean that these boys wasn't spitting.
Yeah, and it was like the little part where where Free was talking about like, hey, you push him, and then he may go back to his old ways. I think it was just like then Free gonna go back to the ski him to the is ass.
Yeah, again, man, unorthodox flow making words rhyme that probably shouldn't at the time, but that's what you gotta appreciate about Free, man. But with that said, Prez, man, you got any closing words for Philadelphia Freeway, the underrated classic that everybody should know and be champion as a classic?
I would say if you haven't listened to this in a while, go back, give it a fresh listen. Tell us what you think in the comments and everything about this. If you never heard this album, do yourself a favor. Go find this on your title, Spotify. No, I'm never gonna promote it. Y'all should be doing title, man. It's black owned. Come on now. Do your due diligence. We talking about the Rockefeller, Jay-Z owns that. Come on, man. Yeah, yeah. Y'all don't get the title now. But yeah, you go find it, listen to it. Man, I guarantee you, like it's a treat. You're gonna if you haven't heard this, like, man, I wish I could be there with you for that little portion just to see your eyes and just like, ooh, yeah, hits on it. Yeah.
For sure, man. But yo, man, I think you wrapped it up pretty well, man. Just got a few closing notes for everybody. If you like this review, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you comment. Tell us a little bit of story, something that sat with you. I mean, we live with this album for about 18 years now, so you got to have a story or two with this. Leave it in the comments. Let us know, or let's talk about more Rockefeller stuff. We here to talk music. Also, if you listen to our podcast, because we're also a podcast as well. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're pretty much everywhere. We just added SoundCloud to the mix as far as where you can find us, but all the normal players, Apple, Spotify, Castbox, Google, Amazon, we're there. So definitely subscribe there and catch us weekly as we do this for current albums as well. We give you the put ons, we give you the under the radar stuff. So definitely check us out. That's Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast, or check us out on Instagram, Twitter at DSC_podcast. It's pretty simple there, man. And with that said, I go by Cash, aka Exec P, and my man to the right.
Mr. Prez.
We out.
We out. Go check out the other ones. Only the classic series.